So, let's stop thinking about just visiting other planets. I mean, let's talk about building a real, permanent, thriving human presence across the whole solar system. And to do that, you don't just need a bigger rocket. Nope. You need a blueprint. You need a master plan for a highway to the stars, one that connects Earth all the way out to the asteroid belt.
Think about it like this. You're planning the ultimate road trip. But instead of, crossing a country, you're crossing the entire solar system. Now, your biggest problem isn't your car. It's the fact that there are no gas stations, no rest stops, no repair shops. So how do we build them? That's the challenge we're going to dig into.
Okay, so the old way of doing things was basically this one massive high-stakes shot from Earth to Mars. If you run low on fuel, well, you're in some serious trouble. It's what we call a single point of failure. The new way, it's all about building a sustainable network. We build the gas stations and the depots out there in space, using the resources we find along the way. And that changes everything.
So where do we even begin? Well, we start in our own backyard, right? Tier 1 is all about building those local highways, the foundational stepping stones we can actually reach right now. This is where we learn to live off the land, finding local sources for fuel and water, and building the first outposts that'll let us push even further out.
This is our first cosmic neighborhood. We're not just jumping straight into the deep end here. We're strategically building up infrastructure around the Earth, using the Moon as a resource depot, and setting up our first real footholds on and around Mars. Every single location you see here is a critical piece of the puzzle.
Everything kicks off right here, in low Earth orbit, or LEO, as we call it. Think of this as our orbital shipyard, where we'll assemble the massive ships we need for deep space travel. And then you have the Lagrange points, and these things are incredible. They're like perfect zero-fuel parking spots in space, where the gravity of the Earth and the Moon just cancel each other out. It's the ideal location for a gateway to the rest of the solar system.
Now, let's talk about the Moon. It's an absolute goldmine of resources. Down at the South Pole, in Shackleton crater, you get these peaks of eternal light for near-constant solar power, sitting right next to permanently shadowed craters that are full of water ice. You've got power and water, side by side. And shelter? The Moon's got us covered. These massive underground lava tubes offer natural protection from radiation and meteorites. It's like finding a house with the foundation already built for you.
When it comes to Mars, location is absolutely everything. We can't just plop down anywhere. Arcadia Planitia? It's perfect for our first settlement. It's flat, so landings are safe, and it has tons of water ice just below the surface. For a more protected base, you've got Noctis Labyrinthus, a whole maze of canyons offering natural shelter. But the real genius move here is Phobos, Mars's tiny moon. It is the perfect orbital dock. You park your big ship there and just send smaller shuttles down, which means you avoid the huge energy cost of climbing out of Mars's deep gravity well every single time.
All right, so with that foundation built, we're ready for the next giant leap. Tier 2 is all about pushing into the industrial frontier, the asteroid belt, which is just overflowing with resources. This is where the real economic engine of space kicks into high gear.
And just look at the scale of this ambition. The goal here is to set up true industrial capacity deep in space. We're talking about building refueling hubs and mining outposts right where the resources are, so we never have to haul heavy materials all the way from Earth ever again.
Now, the asteroid belt has a few key players you need to know. First, you've got the refueling hubs, asteroids like Ceres and Bennu that are just packed with water ice we can turn into rocket fuel. Then you've got the industrial giants, like 16 Psyche and Vesta. These are basically our floating factories, just loaded with the metals we need to build whatever we want, right there in space.
And right here you can see the two critical roles side by side. On the left, you've got Ceres, the biggest object in the belt, and our primary gas station. It's loaded with water. On the right, that's 16 Psyche. It's a metallic monster, almost pure iron and nickel. You don't launch that stuff from Earth, you build with it right there.
So we have all these locations, but the real genius here, the real magic, isn't any one outpost. It's how they all connect and work together as one seamless, integrated network.
Let's just trace a mission on this new highway, shall we? You launch from Earth. First stop, the Moon, for a quick refuel with some locally sourced rocket fuel. Next, you stage at Phobos to get ready for deep space. Then it's all the way out to Psyche to mine valuable metals. And on the way back, you just top up your tanks at Ceres for the trip home. It's a real interplanetary highway system.
And this is a crucial point, right here. Each stop plays a very specific role, using local resources to support the next leg of the journey. That's what makes this entire thing economically viable.
You're not paying that massive cost of launching everything from the bottom of Earth's deep gravity well.
This matrix is the perfect at-a-glance summary of the whole thing. You need fuel? Go to the Moon, Mars, or Ceres. You need shelter? The Moon's lava tubes or the Martian canyons have you covered. Industry? That's Psyche. Logistics? Phobos and Lagrange points. You see, every single need is met by a specific location in the network.
So when you put all of these pieces together, this grand vision really starts to emerge. We're doing more than just exploring. We're settling. We're building.
And that's the real shift in thinking here. We are fundamentally transforming the solar system from a vast, dangerous wilderness into a connected neighborhood. Each outpost is like a house. Each route is a street, and they're all working together to support human life and industry.
And you know, building this network, it's just the beginning. The infrastructure we create in the inner solar system, well, it opens the door to everything else. The icy moons of Jupiter, the rings of Saturn. The road just keeps on going. This is the foundation for all of humanity's future in the cosmos.
So, what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? The goal has changed. This isn't about planting a flag somewhere and then going home. It's about building a permanent, self-sustaining, and thriving human civilization out there, among the stars. It's about building our future.